Right then, the video everybody's been waiting for, Q7 V12. So, first job, get it into the workshop. I'm not going to try and get it on the ramp because it's just too hard to get a dead car on the ramp when its wheels are all pointing all over the place. We'll get it jacked up, straighten it out. Let's see what's wrong with it. We'll let Dean get it in now. Go on then, Dino, get it in. So, took Dean forever to get it in. So we have, before we got this, well, before we got it in, Scott's gone through and done what he likes to do, and that's created a spreadsheet of everything we know were damaged. So a lot of it's radiators, stuff like that. As you can see, if you're looking at this price here, it's not cheap, even at trade price. And basically, at trade price, everything we know it needs before taking it to bits is 13 grand in parts. So it's a lot to repair it with all brand new genuine parts. So that's not going to happen. Obviously that's new, so forget about that for now. So what we did, we looked at some of the chunkier bits that are going to make it look right, and then to get it running, and we've ended up with a few of them here. So this is probably what I'm going to get chewed through today if I can. I might not do the mirror, we'll see. But the main thing stopping it being easy to manoeuvre is the track rod. So we'll get that sorted, and then we'll see what it looks like with new bonnet on and the wing sorted, which this wing has come off, I think, a V6 that somebody's then painted Nardo grey and put a V12 spat on, but the spat arch extension rubber should work from the other side. So it's dinner time now. We'll resume afterwards, and hopefully I can just blow the tyre back onto that bead and it works, but we'll see. Just gonna lift that up with it. Yeah. It's dead. Can't even get finger off. Oh my goodness. This has been stood a bit like this, hasn't it? So what's happening? I can hear the leak. I think rim's cracked. Funny noise, isn't there? Tyre's not in good fettle anyway, is it really? Yeah, it's round there, isn't it? Knees knocking off the seat.
Massive though, right?
Yeah. It's burnt and it's snapped. So, bit of faffing about I had to clean tyre to get it to seat. There's a bit of mud stuck in it, but seems to be holding now, no leaks. It's a little bit bent here, but not a lot, so shouldn't be too bad. Valve's a little bit damaged as well, which is not ideal, but anyway, that's on, so it's propped up now. I ended up having to chop the track rod end off, but not a big deal. 2 seconds with grinder. Obviously that were already snapped, so you can see it's had a good old bend, probably worse there. And then when that's bent, it's whacked into there and bent the bottom of the strut. So I just chopped that off rather than trying to bend it back. We need a new strut. I'm not sure that we're on the list, so we'll get one of them ordered. I believe these are all the same anyway, as any air suspension, so that's not a big deal. So it's going to sit a little bit wonky for now. So that's sorted. While we're looking for the locking wheel bolt key, which I've took them all out and stashed them, we found some stuff in the boot, so wing mirror, some little trims that we need to sort out, some bits that we might need to order. Well, that's a piece that's not broken, attached to a piece that is broken. So we'll sort that out. And then it had these mirrors in the back, which lead me to believe this has been used for towing. So it's good. Tow bar looks like it has been as well, and it was sticking out. So somebody's been using it for what it's probably best at. And they're a brand new face masking, so it's post-pandemic. So the other thing, I have to get over to my computer so I can read it. But we did a bit of digging when we first got this, which is what I forgot to say at the beginning of this video. We sent letters to everybody, because we found about 5 logbooks in the car, all different ones as well. So we sent letters to everybody that were on them logbooks, and we found that in the first 3 years it only done 5,600 miles. So whoever bought it brand new cost them a lot per mile. The second owner, 2013, so when it was 3 years old, a guy called Jeff from in the Lake District, and he bought it blind, just said I want a Q7 V12, bought it, got it delivered, had it for a few months and got a puncture, and then realised that you've not got a spare wheel, and if you want to use any of the seats in the back, you can't get a spare wheel in that'll fit over these big stupid brakes. So he didn't have it very long and sold it. Then the next 2 owners, so at 15,000 mile and 30,000 mile, the next 2 owners, they never got back in touch when we sent the letters to them. And then the 5th owner, he got rid of that when it had done 38,000 miles. He loved it, bought it for his wife, and she just said she wanted a Range Rover. So sold it to an American guy who then, we believe, hit a post and went up a curb and caused all this damage. So maybe he thought we were on the wrong side of the road, not too sure. So now this moves. I'll just check that the wheels are near enough as straight as they're going to be. Now this can move, we can get it onto a ramp and start taking it apart properly rather than struggling along. And yeah, we'll see what else we find. So we're a few hours into messing about with this, finally got all the broken stuff off, which some of it were easier than others were a bit squashed. That were everything to take just the front bumper off, which is stupid. and then that's the front panel and the headlights, which is crazy again, but we'll see how we get on. So obviously this is all mullered. This piles me. We need to get alternative pile, which is not good because these pipes go all the way around the engine, so we're going to have to think of something else to repair them if we're going to do them at all. And then all these are smashed to death, so I'm going to have to split them and then see what we've got. But I think at last count we had 10 radiators on this and only 4 of them are any good. So there's 6 radiators to source, which is not a big deal. Oh, smashing place up. And then this is the keep pile. This is all stuff that's not 100% dead. A few little bits broken, some of it, but we might be able to make it work, just like a little crack in that, but it didn't do out anyway. And then yeah, the bumper, it looked like we might have been able to repair it at some point, but this is all absolutely smashed to bits at the bottom. If we're going to do it, we need to do it right. But yeah, it's not good. So we'll keep that, put them to one side and find what else we need. So I'm going to have to go through that shortly and find what we've got. Some of the stuff I believe, but we'll see what we've got and what we haven't got. This is all a little bit pushed back and moved a bit, so I need to figure out what's broken behind that and if these are all right. This pump's broken. This back had come off, but it might work again. I think we've sorted that out. I think it plugged into there. See if it comes up in fault codes when we get to it. So then what we've just done now is we've connected all the water pipes back up. This is another water pipe. So everything's connected as it was, pretty much. Just we know this is the radiator. And then we start getting a leak, and that looks like this housing here, which is the full front. And all this here, which is quite big, and you don't want to be taking it off. But this is broken, and all this goes to is the EGR cooler up there. So it don't even really need it for what we're going to be doing, so that's frustrating. And then just a couple of little plugs broken here, but that's just a coolant temp sensor, which we can get them easy enough. So yeah, the damage is not actually that bad. There's a little bit of bending happening underneath here, but nothing too crazy. And I don't think you can see it while wheels on, but we'll see that. What I did to try and get it to move, which didn't work anyway, because I think the air spring's damaged, and it's got no power to it yet, so we'll have to see. But what I had to do to get that to move is not working either, so we need another strut before we can really shift it again. But the only other thing left to do before this is water and oil tight is connect this. This is the engine oil cooler pipe, so I'm just going to join these back together, and then we should be good. The gearbox is already done. We've sorted that out easy enough. Yeah, and the last thing that we're going to try and get done today, pushing his luck a little bit time-wise, this is where, I'll get a torch, 1 second. So this had already been lifted up before we got it, and it looked like somebody had been playing around in here. So this here, I think people like to call them the pyro fuse. So from there to there, there's no continuity. We've tested it already. And this, I'm assuming, goes to the engine. So we need to link that out or put that onto there, and then we'll bypass that for now and then see if we get any power to the rest of the car. But this battery's been on charge for ages, and I don't think it's going to charge in it yet. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think it's not turned green yet, but I can't really see it anyway. But it's not red, so we'll see. Yeah, so that's next job. Try and get that powered up, see what's blown, and then if we can get it to crank, see if we can get it to start. Go on then. Gear rev. Right. Nice. It's alive. There must be an hole in one of these it's there. Intercooler pipe. Could see it blowing a little bit out. No? No smoke coming out of that?
Fired up like that.
Just sparked straight up, didn't it?
I'm taking it home tonight.
Yeah, take it straight home. You can have it if you can get home. Sweet. So, we've created a lot of mess, but it's alive. So, it was quite late on when I got it sorted and got it running. So that's why we didn't film it while it was still there. And I don't want to try it again because I put about 10 litres of engine oil in and they only hold 12.5, so it didn't have a lot in there, which is odd because there weren't really much leak in engine oil. And we're definitely leaking gearbox oil, and I've not checked that yet. So we're going to get a service kit and do it properly, I think, with that, rather than just putting anything in there and causing another problem. But I might drain it to see how much we've got in before we go crazy. Yeah, power steering, that's still got plenty in. Coolant, I can't fill it up to where I want, so we got all this connected up so we could run it for a length of time. But this here, I don't know if I want to take it off and see. You can't really see, but this pipe, oh there, I can pull it out. There, you can see where it's cracked there. That should have been a press fit, and it's obviously popped out, but luckily that just goes to EGR cooler, so we'll get rid of that. That might be a permanent fixture, Paul's vice grips. So yeah, it runs, sounds pretty good. It threw the belt off when it was running because I forgot to mention that the aircon pump pulley is broken, so the belt weren't tight enough. But we're going to get rid of that, I'd have thought, anyway at some point. So yeah, next thing for this, I think I need to check the gearbox oil, and then we've got to decide what we're doing really, because looking at it, I don't know if you can see from here, but maybe we'll see on the next video, but I think this chassis leg's higher. It looks like it's pushed up. So there's something not right there. So we need to get that investigated and figured out. And if the chassis leg's bent, I think we're not going to leave this engine in this project and get it running properly. I think we'll do a conversion into something else, which I'm not sure we've announced what yet, or confirmed, or denied. So that'll have to wait for the next video. I think this video is going to probably be long enough, and yeah, it's took a fair bit of messing about. I'm still going to go through all this stuff. I'm still going to go through it as though we're going to repair it and then get rid of everything. This is all good stuff. Yeah, and I think hopefully it's not bent and it's just something, an optical illusion, but we'll see.